I think you were on the show, or I know you were with the company at the time, December of '84, when Dr. D. David Schultz unloaded on poor John Stossel from ABC's 2020 at MSG that led to quite a lawsuit.
Yep, I was sitting right beside him. We got slapped.
What was the reaction? Because I've seen it on YouTube. It was before I was a little kid. He potatoed John Stossel.
Yeah.
Now, and he was told to kind of enforce the fact that wrestling wasn't a work.
He wasn't told personally.
No, he was not.
I
Secondhand, you mean?
Well, everybody in the dressing room was told us to do that.
The boys.
Well, Vince came in and said, I wish somebody would deck that guy.
So he kind of hinted at it.
Yeah, and then Schultz thought it would get brownie points. And he went and did it.
In the end, it was a $425,000 night at MSG once the lawsuit was settled. John Stossel made out quite well. He claims he lost hearing in the year that...
he probably did, because Schultz slapped him into the middle of next week.
Schultz was kind of a crazy guy, was he not?
Yeah, but what ended up happening, it cost Schultz his career. He never stepped foot in the ring a day after.
He was gone very soon after that.
And the funny thing about it, I almost did it.
Really?
I came
Why? Tell me
because everybody, anytime a boss come in and make a suggestion, I wish somebody would take care of that guy. You
get the hint.
You get the hint. So you say, hey, if I do this, I'll be in good with Vince.
Yeah. It didn't work out for Dr. D. David Schultz. I don't know if the folks here in the audience have seen it, but it was...
Guy. Well, it was okay until the lawsuit came down the pipe. Then all of a sudden it wasn't okay then.
Do you think it was worth, the slap was worth $425,000?
I don't think to Schultz it wasn't, no.
Boy, and he, like you said, I can't remember of anywhere he went after his WWF run.
No, that was it. He was done.
Interesting character. I met him at one of the Fanfest reunions in New Jersey, I think back in 2003, and he actually flew a private plane in. He was kind of missing in action from the wrestling world for a long time.
Well, he started his own company as a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He became a bounty hunter. He did real good with it, too, you know.
I'll tell you this, you always hear secondhand stories. I thought he was a pretty nice guy.
I never had no problem with him.
You like Dr. D?
Oh, yeah, I like Dr. D.
We may never mention him again, but any interesting experiences with him?
No,
any stories?
No, but I liked him. I mean, we talked a little bit in the dressing room. I never had no problem with him. He never caused me any trouble, you know. But he picked up on it, and he did it.
Wrong place, wrong time, I guess, right? Especially for John Stossel's ear, I guess.
Well, it probably would have been worse for all of us if he hadn't done it. Because then Vince probably got mad at all the other rats for not doing it.
Well, I think
double-edged sword. You did it, you got in trouble. You didn't do it, you got in trouble.
He was planning a February sweeps piece where I think he wanted to shit on the business. And I think maybe Dr. D maybe made him...
He used the wrong terminology. See, people always say wrestling is fake. And that would piss off any wrestler because it's not fake, it's stage. It's a difference. Fake, you don't hit for real. Fake, you don't fall for real. Fake is acting. They
stunt
punch you.
Doubles.
Yeah,
you don't have a stunt double in wrestling.
Yeah. When you fall, you fall. When you get chopped, you get chopped. Your injuries, you got injuries, you know. And so, you know, like Jesse Van Tour say, a gymnastic do a little flip on a mat, and they call him an athlete. He said he do a flip on a concrete floor. They call him fake.
Yeah.
Fake was not the term. The best term to describe wrestling was more like stage, and the staging was based primarily in my day on what the fans like. Like, for example, if I put you on a car in Madison Square Garden and you draw 20,000 people, and then I put that young man there on the car, he draw 10,000 people. Well, of course, if you're a wrestler, I'm going to put you over because more people pay to see you than to pay him. Because the idea is to make money. That's why Bob Backlund, when they asked Bob Backlund to drop the title to Hogan, he said no.
Yeah, you were around for that.
He said no, he wasn't going to do it.
Why was Bob Backlund adamant that he wouldn't drop it to Hogan?
Because Hogan couldn't beat him in real life.
Yeah.
And most champions would not let you beat him in the ring if you couldn't do it in real life, because if you got beaten up in a street fight, that hurt him too.
Right, yeah.
See? That's why I never let Hogan beat me, because he couldn't do it in real life. Yeah. So anybody that could not beat me in real life, I would not let him beat me in the ring. That was old school.
Well, Backlund had problems. Another guy that was suggested
Carl Gotch was like that. A lot of guys were like that.
Another guy that they pushed Backlund to drop the strap to in the interim before Hogan was the mass superstar, Demolition
Bill
Axe,
Eadie.
Bill Eadie, yeah. But Backlund didn't want to drop it to Bill Eadie either.
No.
He was adamant about that. With the Sheik, he was a legitimate. He could.
No, they took the belt off him with the Sheik.
What do you mean?
Scolding through in the towel.
Well, it wasn't exactly.
And Backlund did not talk to him no more after that. Never again. He never said a word to Scolding out there. He was so pissed off on that.
Really?
He threw in the towel, standing there and watching. The Sheik got him hooked, and the Sheik looked at Scolding and said, "I'm going to break his arm."
Really? That I didn't know.
He got him hooked. Yeah, he got him hooked.
Well, Sheik was legit.
Because they was wrestling, trying to get in the wrestling what we call a shoot, called a hook.
Yeah.
Well, I get you hooked a certain way. You know, it only take a little bit to break something at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, he had him hooked.
Right.
So he looked up at Scolding to let Scolding know, I got him. What do you want me to do? See? And how the Sheik became one of Vince's best people, because when Hogan first got the belt, when he walked out on Vern Gagne, Vern Gagne called the Sheik up and said, when you wrestle Hogan again, I give you X number of $100
$100,000, yeah.
I give you $100,000 if you would break Hulk Hogan's legs for me. The Sheik thought about it and went and told Vince. Vince said, I would give you that for the rest of your life if you don't do it.
He was loyal to the company.
He was loyal to the company.
And I tell you this,
but he could have broke Hogan's leg that night.
Absolutely. She could have destroyed Hogan. Sheik was the real deal.
He was the real deal. And that's why they had to get the Sheik to take the belt off for Backlund. But then they got afraid. They had a backup plan because they didn't think that the Sheik could really take him.
Really? Hogan?
Oh, no, Backlund.
Oh, Backlund, okay.
I mean, these guys, Backlund was...
Backlund was the real deal, yeah.
He pot gorilla or something. And this guy bench pressed 500 pounds back in them days. He didn't look like it.
He didn't look like it, right.
But a 500-pound bench press.
Yeah.
So as soon as Scolding saw the opportunity, he threw in that towel. And you know, Backlund never talked to him again.
Wow.
Never talked to him
I tell you
again.
this, if the Sheik didn't run into my God, we don't even start with the Sheik and his drug problems, but if he didn't go that route, I can't imagine how much longer he would have been with the company and it had even a better run. But he was nuts by the end.
Well, yeah, because what happened, the Sheik broke his ankle, and he never got it fixed.
I've seen it.
So he did the drugs for the pain. For the pain. He had pain.
Have you ever seen his foot?
Yeah.
To give the fans.
And now he can't walk. But he never. See, in the older days, if you break something and you go to the hospital or the doctor, you was a sissy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I tell you.
Take a pill, tape it up, get out there.
To give it to the fans an example, his foot is so mangled.
Yeah.
He walks on the bottom of his ankle.
I know.
He doesn't even have his foot just kind of shifts up. It's so sad. Because, you know, the Sheik, we were in that, I don't even know if you know, we were hit by a drunk driver back in 2005. And you'd think the Sheik would have been the one responsible, but we were actually in the car that got hit. And his foot was just,
it's
purple. It's so purple. And
well,
I don't know why he's never got it fixed.
The Undertaker take his knee and do this.
Undertaker does that? Yeah.
His shoulder, he could take his shoulder and just take it loose just like that. Like taking off a coat.
It's a crazy world. But, you know.
They tape him up, and then send him right back out there.
A lot of the Sheik's drug use was recreational, but a lot of it, he was in so much pain.
It was pain. Mostly for pain.
Yeah. And now he doesn't leave the house.
In the older school, if you injure and you don't show up and wrestle, you was a sissy. They say, suck it up. Triple H, I watched him. That's why he wore with the real high stockings and stuff.
Yeah.
If you saw him in the dressing room before he put a trunk on, he looked like the mummy.
Really?
They taped up everywhere.
Taped up everywhere?
Everything is all taped up, yeah. All taped up, yeah.
All right.
Undertaker, too, that way wearing a long tight, he's taped up everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, they tape them together. Give them a pill, get out there.